By the late 1980s, Freddie Mercury was living with a secret that would soon reshape the destiny of Queen. He was fighting a battle with his own body, a battle he refused to share publicly, even with the people closest to him. But the one place where the truth always surfaced, no matter how hard he tried to hide it, was the recording studio. And there was one song that revealed this more painfully than any other. A song he tried to finish, but simply couldn't. A song that broke him physically, emotionally, and spiritually. That song was "The Show Must Go On." In 1990, the band knew Freddie Mercury was ill, but they didn't know how bad it really was. Only Freddie and a handful of trusted friends fully understood the severity of his condition. Even then, he minimized it, refusing pity, refusing fear, refusing to let the disease define his final years. But as Queen prepared songs for their final album with Freddie Innuendo, the strain became impossible to ignore. Brian May, now carrying much of the creative weight, wrote the skeleton of a song that tried to express what Freddie never said out loud, a man fighting darkness with every ounce of remaining strength. It was a song about perseverance, about performance, about refusing to crumble. But when Freddie first heard it, he knew it was more than just theatrics. "It's so sad," he said quietly. "It's too close to home." When it came time to record the vocals, Freddie was already weakening. His body was thin, fragile, exhausted from both illness and pain medication. Some days he could barely stand. Other days, he forced himself to rise simply to prove he still could. Brian May later admitted, "I had no idea if he could sing it. The melody was brutal. The range was insane. It demanded everything." Freddie walked into the studio knowing that the song mirrored his own life, knowing that every line was a reminder of what he was losing. And at one point, overwhelmed by the intensity of the lyrics, overwhelmed by the reality behind them, Freddie muttered, "I'm dying here." Not as a grand statement, not as a confession, but as a moment of raw truth, the truth he had tried to outrun for years. It was the first time even those closest to him heard him say it out loud. The session was brutal. Freddie tried take after take, searching for breath that wasn't there. His lungs burned, his throat tightened, his energy faded. Every note felt like a battle. At one point, he stepped away from the microphone, sweat pouring down his face, hands trembling. Brian watched, unsure whether to keep going or stop the session entirely. But Freddie, stubborn, fearless, defiant, refused to quit. "I'll do it, darling," he said. "Let me have another go." He asked for vodka, to loosen my throat, he joked, though everyone knew it was just another way to hide the pain. Then he walked back into the booth and delivered one of the greatest vocal performances in rock history. But he never finished the song on that day. He recorded fragments, powerful, brilliant fragments, but he was too exhausted to complete the full take. The final version on the album is a miracle stitched together from moments when his voice rose above the pain. Freddie couldn't finish it in life, but somehow he made it sound like triumph rather than tragedy. The lyrics were prophetic. "Inside my heart is breaking, my makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on." Brian May had written them for Freddie, but Freddie sang them as if they were his own epitaph. The song wasn't just about a performer refusing to stop, it was about a man refusing to be defined by the disease tearing him apart. Freddie never explained the song publicly. He didn't want sympathy, he didn't want the world to mourn before it had to. But in private, he told Brian, "You've written my life in music, dear. Now let me try to give it life." The final vocals were recorded in short bursts over several days. Freddie would arrive, exhausted and pale, sing with the fury of a man challenging death, then collapse into a chair while the band reviewed the takes. He couldn't complete the last long phrases, the ones soaring above the final chorus. So Brian layered harmonies, doubled the lines, and shaped the ending from the parts Freddie could give. When the song was finally complete, the band listened in silence. It was Freddie Mercury, breaking, fighting, refusing to surrender. A man who could no longer run, no longer hide, but could still sing with more force than anyone alive. Brian May later said, "I don't know how he did it. I still don't." The Show Must Go On was released 6 weeks before Freddie's death. He never performed it live. He barely had the strength to speak in his final months. But the world felt the weight of the song instantly. It wasn't Queen's goodbye, it was Freddie's. A declaration that greatness doesn't die with the body. A reminder that spirit endures long after the curtain falls.